Greetings, everybody. I am the Mr. Archer, and this is the match review for Everton 0, Manchester City 2, Wednesday night at Goodison. After the Wolves game, a lot of us weren't expecting very much out of our team. Obviously, we didn't perform well. After we conceded that second goal against Wolves, we just looked depleted of ideas. Again, the players didn't look like they could be arsed to go out there and put in a performance. The third goal literally killed us off. There was no comeback, there was no fight, no desire. And so after that, we all got on the manager, we all got on the players, we all started to question whether Marco Silva is the right man for the job, whether his tactics are correct, whether he's playing the right players in the right positions. So going into the Man City match, we had the added drama of a lot of top blues, and you know who you are, wanting us to lose, and preferably by a lot of goals, so that even if Manchester City and Liverpool may be tied on points at the end of the season, Manchester City just pumping us from behind would give the Copites even less of a chance of winning the league. Not sure if any true Evertonians were wearing their sky blue to the game. I didn't see too many in the crowd, but I wasn't there to pay attention to that. I did a rant video on what I think about our supporters, so-called, wanting to lose the game just to help out Liverpool and hope that their fans are miserable and they don't win a league they've been looking for so long. So yeah, enough about that. I think that a 2-0 defeat to Manchester City wasn't the worst thing in the world. I mean, the formation we put out, the players we put out, quite surprising, right? We made 5 changes. Coleman was dropped in favor of John Joe Kenny. Richarlison was dropped. Tosin was dropped. Sigurdsson was dropped. And Baines, through his injury, didn't play, so Luca Dean came back in. I liked what Silva was trying to do. I really enjoyed our midfield. I thought that Ghana coming back in was a big deal. Obviously, the stuff that happened in the transfer window, him not getting his so-called dream move to Paris Saint-Germain. A lot of players' heads might have gone down. They might have tried to boycott and just down tools and not put in a shift, but a lot of people have said before that we don't see Ghana as that type of player. Maybe they said to him, just give us another couple of months. We'll do some business in the summer, and if PSG are still interested, or any other clubs are interested, we'll consider what's going on. So just stick with us for a while. So of course Ghana got stuck in, made his tackles, disrupted play. Just did what Ghana does, He tried to be a little more creative, I think, on the offensive side of things, but he's just not cut out for that. I think Andre Gomez, not only an outstanding hugger by all accounts, also a fantastically slick, smooth, calm, controlled player. Looked to spread the ball wide when possible, looked to break forward when possible, slid into the back when necessary, picked up the ball deep, tried to get stuff going. And our captain for the day, young lad, local lad, Tom Davis, put in a fabulous shift once again. Seems to be, puts in a great shift, disappears, puts in a great shift, disappears. So we'll see if he starts against Watford away and see what he can do there. But I thought as a captain and as a player in the midfield, he did a really good job, unlike most of our captains that we have playing. Every time that there was a decision, whether for us, whether for against us, an offside, which we didn't actually have any, sorry. Anything that went against us, anything that went for us, he was up the ref's arse, trying to get in there, trying to make his voice heard, trying to, just stay in his ear, letting him know that he's seeing stuff. All around fantastic performance from Tom. Even on the offensive side, he was going out wide to receive the ball. He was even coming back deep to try and make something happen in the backfield and advances going forward. But that's the main problem, isn't it, right? We've got players in certain positions. We've got 3 midfielders, all with different skill sets. But we just can't do anything on the offensive side of the ball, even with Gylfi out the team. I thought that Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front put in a fabulous shift also. Didn't get too many chances, but I think his hold-up play, his bringing players into the final third, trying to make opportunities for him, was fabulous. Bernard, still would like to see him play in a number 10 role if possible, but he has to play on the left or the right now because for whatever reason Richarlison's not doing much except flopping around on the floor. Walcott, again, we all know that Theo's not putting in the performances we require. I mean, he looks like he's getting into good positions. He looks like he's trying to break in behind the lines. He looks like he's out there giving 100%, but there's just something missing from his game. I don't know if it was just because it was against Man City and against Wolves that he just, his touch, sometimes his running, his positioning, it's just not great. And obviously not sure why he started 2 games in a row, but we'll see what happens against Watford. I'd like to see Lookman come in, but again, it all depends on what Silva wants to do for the foreseeable future. And if we're going to play youth like Kenny and against with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and we're going to play Tom Davis, I don't see why we can't be playing Lookman. But what's his best position? He's obviously not a right winger. Should he be playing in the number 10 role? Should he be playing in a split striker role? We're not sure. We didn't let him go to Leipzig for a reason. Marco Silva talked him up for a reason. So we should be getting game time right now, I think. Other players, I don't think our defense was too horrible overall. Obviously, they got a free kick just outside, well, not just outside, maybe 10 yards outside of our box on their left side. Of course, we just sat back and went, well, here we go. It's extra time at the end of the first half. They've got a cross coming in. Obviously, this is going to be a goal, and it was. So nothing new there. Still disappointing because I thought we did really well in that first half, and I think if we could have got in at halftime 0-0, we could have maybe possibly made some adjustments, but it's just a killer right before halftime. And so everyone's heads maybe went down a little bit, and not only for us supporters, but also for the players, probably just like, oh, again, we try so hard, we come so close, we just can't keep the ball out of our net from set pieces. Second half, again, more of the same. We did such a good job, and I'll just mention that real quick. John Joe Kenny, I mean, I even got Sane in for my fantasy team because I just thought he was going to dominate. He didn't start the previous game, so I thought he was going to come out and just give John Joe the lesson of his life. And they tried to play the ball on the diagonal. They tried to play little intricate passes with David Silva in the middle to try and get Sane in, but I don't know if he was just having an off night, but his touch and his runs offside most of the time, his lack of control, going out for throw-ins, going out for goal kicks. I don't know if John Joe got inside his head, got in his ear and just said, "You're not as good as you think you are, buddy," or whatever it was. But after 55, 60 minutes, Guardiola took him off, and he just seen enough of that. So kudos to John Joe on that. We'll just say it was John Joe's reason that Sane had a bad game. And overall, I mean, Silva tried to do his stuff in the middle. They brought De Bruyne on. Fernandinho was doing what Fernandinho always does. Aguero, actually, surprisingly quiet. Besides, he hit the bar on a little flick. But other than that, he didn't really look like a threat. He didn't really get in behind. He didn't really get out wide and get the ball. Didn't cause our defense and Pickford very much trouble. So, I mean, obviously City were off their game. If they were on their game, they probably could have put 4 or 5 past us. They should have been at least 3 goals up in the first half. We had that one that hit the bar, obviously, and then Laporte headed wide on one of their corners, which totally marking was atrocious again. It was just a finish, just whizzed by the post. So we were lucky to go in just 1-0 down at halftime. Like I said, back to the second half. The stats show everything. We had 39% possession. They had 61. We had 4 shots on target. We had 4 shots, with 1 on target. They had 15 shots before on target. They had 6 fouls, and we had 12. Little mention on that. The referee wanted to keep his cards in his pocket for the longest amount of time. Not really too sure what he was thinking, but most of the referees around here obviously don't think, or, referees are bad week in, week out, but it's not for always the same reason. I got the problem with this referee this week was that he kept his cards in his pocket too long. He didn't set the tone, didn't set the standard for what's acceptable in the game. Took him until like the 65th minute to finally book Fernandinho, when he should have been booked and yellow carded at least, in the first 10-15 minutes of the game. So yeah, refs doing it again. Yeah, so overall, 2-0, not too bad. Everyone got what they wanted, right? We wanted to see a strong performance. We wanted to see desire. We wanted to see ambition. We wanted to see passion from our players. We wanted to see Silva try a new lineup with a new formation and new tactics. We got all that. The crowd was up for it for most of the game. Nobody was leaving early or super early. Some people obviously leave early every game to catch the bus or get their car out the parking space to get ahead of the traffic, but what didn't seem to be any protests of people leaving. And everyone, the top blues that wanted to see Manchester City win, you also got what you wanted. You didn't want to see your team win. You didn't want to have any, have this hope the players didn't have any professional pride, any personal pride. You didn't want them to play for the bad. If we were going to have a bad game, we might as well just keep the bad run going by damaging Liverpool's title chances. So you got what you wanted. Everybody is all around happy. So it went as it was expected. We weren't expecting to win. We just wanted to see a little bit of fight. So I think we've finally, it looks like we've climbed out of the valley of mediocrity, and we're well on the road to being a half decent team now. So onwards and upwards to Watford. Let me know in the comments what you think about how we may line up. What you like, who you'd like to see in the team. I've seen things they want to play. Somebody wants to play Walcott. Lots of people, people want to see Walcott play up front. I got a comment in one of my other videos that people would like to see Gylfi Sigurdsson play up front. I think the time now has come for us to just experiment, to play different players, different positions, different formations, different styles of play. And if Mina's back, or even if Jags is back, try playing a back three. With different variations on the back three, 5 in midfield, 1 up top, or however you want to play it. I think we could do a 3-4-2, a 3-5-2, sorry, a 3-4-3. There's lots of ways we can go about it, but as long as we don't get embarrassed, as long as we don't get pumped and made to look like an amateur club at the end of the day for the remainder of the season, I think we'll be fine. Obviously, like I said before, we're not going down, no fear of that. We're not breaking into the top 6, so let's just be positive. Carry on with just looking at this as a long-term product. Obviously, the higher-ups have come out and said that Silva's going to be here. It is a long-term project. We do have faith. We're working out the situation. We're obviously looking at players. We're obviously looking at ways to strengthen the squad. We're looking to get rid of Deadwood. So let's just, do what we can to support our club till the end of the season. We'll see what we do in the summer transfer window. We'll see who goes out. We'll see who comes in. Obviously, I'm sure some of those are already lined up. So up the toffees, and subscribe if you like. Also, trying to get videos out most days. For those that like to watch, it's a long way to make a channel. I'll be getting a new computer rig next week, so if you want to leave any message in the comments of if you'd watch anybody play any video games on top of watching videos on a daily basis, let me know what games people like to see. So once I get my new computer rig, we'll be streaming a lot also on YouTube and maybe on Twitch. So those are just some updates. Should be making a video soon for an intro for the channel, because right now it's just basically all stuff on Everton, but I want to try and expand past that. And if anyone's got any suggestions on how to expand the channel, any advice, let me know. Again, appreciate it, guys, and see you tomorrow. Bye.